Okay, welcome back to Carson Reads. Sorry, I just had to restart because I was just blabbering and blabbering and blabbering and blabbering just on and on and on for no reason that I just felt that I had to do a redo. This is the final take though, letting you know. So whatever comes out of my mouth, I'm so sorry, but you're so welcome. This is Carson Reads. Welcome back. Today I am doing Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Book 2, The Sea of Monsters. And what a riveting read this was. No, but actually, I re-listened to the last episode on the Lightning Thief, and it was too harsh. There was no other way to put it. It was way too harsh. And somebody in my last video commented on it and was like, hey, don't be a big fat meanie. There's no need for that. And you want to know what? They're right. It was way too harsh. I listened back and I'm like, dang, I really didn't have anything good to say. But it's honestly like, it's a cool story. And yes, like it feels like it mirrors a lot of the plot points of Harry Potter. And we're going to talk about another one in this too, in this book. Well, not a lot of the plot points, but just like a few of them. And it does, I think in the last video I said how each chapter feels like a poorly written TV show episode, and then they're just like slammed together. And that is kind of the case as well, but it's fun. Like, it's a fun read. I think the reason why I was so harsh in the last episode was because it was a hard fall for me to realize that I no longer fit the audience for this book. And I don't want to feel like I'm old. I don't want to feel like I've grown out of fun things. But I have. And so it was a rude awakening. And so I think I took my frustration out in the last video. So if you were that person who commented, I wish I had your YouTube channel name on the top of my head. But if you were the person who commented like, hey, Carson, you're doing too much, you're right. And I agree with you. And I hope that we can still be friends. So yes, the Sea of Monsters. Let's get right into it. It is like, the plot definitely thickens here a little bit, but it still feels a little rushed to me. I mean, it's hard to like flesh out true like characters and themes in like the amount of space that there is and like the scope of the writing, you know, and like the story that it wants to tell is very ambitious, so it like has to cut corners somewhere. In 279 pages. Yeah. So the book starts out, wait, let me see when this was published. Oh, I keep wanting to to show my bookmarks to everybody every time that I do one of these, because they're just kind of like random things that I have laying around that I just shove into my book. This one is, what did I buy? Oh, this is a receipt. It is a receipt from Denmark. I bought strawberries there, and they were the best strawberries that I've ever had in my life, so I kept the receipt. Anyway, Ida, if you're watching this or listening to this, just know that those strawberries changed my life. Published in 2006. I think the last one was published in 2005, so he was pumping these out. I almost said and it shows, but it doesn't. Like, it's fun, guys. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna be too harsh this time around, because last time I really listened and I'm like, dang, that's not a likable person, and he has too much negativity in his body. So, okay, so let's go over the plot just a little bit. So the book ends, the Lightning Thief ends, right? And it's like, it kind of gives Harry Potter. Everybody like kind of chooses to go home for the summer or not. Like, the school year's over at Hogwarts, or like, you know, people just go home and then they come back for the next school year. It isn't like a school, but like kind of Camp Half-Blood, because they meet, like, they go home and then they come back, you know, except it's a summer camp, so it's opposite. Anyway, that doesn't even matter. At the end of the last book, people like, it just is kind of winding down, and then it picks up, and Percy is in a new school, and he makes friends with this boy named Tyson, and Tyson gets bullied by all the other kids, you know, But Percy, because he's also been there before, like, he's his friend, and even though he's a big oaf, he is his friend. And they're playing dodgeball one day, and all of a sudden there are these monsters. And these monsters, they're like the cheerleaders. I think they're called Lastragonians, but I can't remember for sure, so don't quote me on that. See, that's one of the good things about Percy Jackson, is that it's fun, first of all. Second of all, it teaches you about... It's like a learning tool a little bit. I don't know how historically accurate it is about Greek mythology, but you do learn some things. And even though I can't remember what the monsters were called, I'm pretty sure they were called Lastragonians, so that's my teaching right there. And then they go back to Camp Half-Blood. Tyson goes with Percy. I think they're running away from those monsters, and then they just run into Long Island, Camp Half-Blood, and things settle down a little bit. They have like a chariot race, and whoever wins the chariot race gets to go on a quest, I think. Clarice wins. She's from the Ares cabin. She's a daughter of Ares, and she is sent to go and search for the Golden Fleece, I'm pretty sure. But I can't remember how the Golden Fleece got lost in the first place. Or maybe it was because, like, the tree, there's like a front tree in the Camp Half-Blood, and it was like starting to die or something. And so like the defenses of the entire camp were weakened. And so only something like the Golden Fleece could cure it, I'm pretty sure, is what the storyline is, but I can't remember for sure. So Clarice goes, but Percy, Annabeth, and Grover are like itching to like go and help out in any way that they can. Well, no, lie. Grover is gone. Grover is out searching for the god Pan. He's like god of the earth or something. Can't remember for sure. But he is lost, and Percy keeps having dreams of him, and he's in trouble. And anyway, it doesn't even matter. Let me just shut up. I always talk way too much. Sorry, I can hear somebody walking. And what else? Where even was I? He knows that he's in trouble, so I don't think that it's Percy and Annabeth who like want to go and like one up Clarice on her quest. I think they're going to try to find Grover. They go and they find Grover. He's in like a volcano thing with a cyclops. And and Tyson goes too. And turns out Tyson is also a cyclops. Also, pause. If I'm spoiling this for you, that's your own bad, because this is the second book of a series. So go and read it. Unless you don't want it, then you can come and hang and stay. But, also, quick off the top of my head, because I know I'll forget if I don't say it right now. They released a trailer for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, and the song Riptide by Vance Joy is in the background. And Percy's sword's name is Riptide. You guys, genius. Anyway, where was I? And then they go and they find Grover. And Grover thinks that he was finding Pan, when in reality he found the Golden Fleece on this island. Okay? Because I guess Pan and this Golden Fleece emit a similar energy. They try to go home. The Sea of Monsters, they're in the Sea of Monsters, I'm pretty sure. And the Sea of Monsters is the Bermuda Triangle. And so they try to like go home, but there's monsters, of course, in the sea. You guys, how clever is that? And yeah, then they make it home. They put the Golden Fleece on the tree, and then there is a girl at the base of the tree, and that girl is, I say Talia, but I don't know actually because it's spelled with a TH. Thalia? No, there's no way. Talia. Thalia, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it turns out that she is the daughter of Zeus, and she is also a contender to be the child of prophecy. So things get kind of crazy there at the end, and then the book ends. So that's the book. Let me read you some of my little highlights here, and then I'll end. Okay, this part was just weird. I don't know why this was the first one that I flipped open to. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to read this one. Okay, fine, I will. It says, so he goes in, this is Percy. They find Chiron's collection of, like, things. Yes, his favorite CDs. And he says, I pressed play and started up Chiron's favorite, the all-time greatest hits of Dean Martin. Quote, suddenly the air was filled with violence and a bunch of guys moaning in Italian. So, thank you, Percy, for that. Okay, this is actually a good, pretty tender one. Hermes visits Percy and is like, hey, oh, I forgot. That's like a whole, like, big plot point, is that. And it's not even mentioned in the first book, which is also another reason why, well, he is. Forget I said that. There is this son of Hermes, K, and his name is Luke. He was, in the movie, he's the one that hides the lightning bolt in Percy's, like, shield or something. But in the book, yes, he's evil. He gifts Percy a pair of sneakers with wings on them that's supposed to, like, drag him down to the depths of hell. And then he, like, runs away, and he's, like, trying to build up this army. He's trying to revive Kronos. Okay? That is major. How did I forget that? Anyway, Hermes visits Percy on a beach right by Camp Half-Blood, and he says, if there's one thing I've learned over the eons, it's that you can't give up on your family no matter how tempting they make it. So, if any of you are thinking about giving up on your family, Hermes says not to. And that is an order. Okay, this one, in my little annotation over here says this is so Percy Jackson. No, this is classic Percy Jackson right here. They always say something, but they get cut off, and it's like right as they're about to say something like really, like, insightful or very important. So this is Chiron. He goes, Percy, you have to watch out for, and then there's just like that, what's that called? Like a B dash. I can't remember, you guys. I took English, I promise, but it's not a hyphen. It's a long dash. And so you never get to find out what he's about to say until pages and pages later. The other thing, sorry. The other thing is just a quote here. It says, almost everything strange washes up near Miami. I lived in Miami for a little bit, and I said that is so true. Second to last one, and then I'll be quiet, says, who's talking here? Chiron. You must try, Percy, because whether or not you are the child with prophecy, Kronos thinks you might be. Like, this is Harry Potter. I'm sorry. And at the end here, it says that Annabeth Grover and Percy walk back toward the dining pavilion together, just the three of us, like old times. And it's like, how old is old times? Because this book, we've been reading about your story for a year. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. And that is that on that. Everybody have a great week, and I'll chat with you soon about book 3. If you read it, you enjoy it, like, I want to chat in the comments. I should respond to the person who thought that I was rude in the last video, because they're absolutely right. So maybe I'll do that. Anyway, talk to y'all later. This was Carson Reads. Ciao.